Protest happening in the district. The crowd gathering in the streets holding signs that read "Free DC." Community members say they are speaking out to protest the surge of federal officers and National Guard troops that now patrol DC streets. Earlier today, National Guard soldiers were seen with trash bags in hand, as you can see here behind me, cleaning up near the waterfront. Soldiers and airmen will be assigned to carry out site surveys in the district and coordinate restoration projects. And now we are learning that President Trump is also asking for $2 billion from Congress for DC beautification efforts. But as our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley explains, this comes just months after Congress made significant cuts to D.C.'s budget.
The president says he's going to ask Congress for $2 billion to clean up D.C. around the White House and the Capitol, and he says Congress is going to do it. This just months after D.C. faced an unprecedented budget crisis after Congress cut $1 billion of D.C. residents' tax dollars that were already allocated in the D.C. budget. It led to citywide protests. The cuts forced nearly $400 million in cuts to essential resources and agencies in the district.
And now it's going to be clean. I'm giving out a contract very soon. Susie's with me. We're going to be raising about $2 billion from Congress, and Congress is happy to do it. And we're going to wisely spend the money. We're doing it with Clark Construction.
The president said to beautify D.C., the work and changes will start at the Capitol and White House and go about 3 miles out in a circle.
All those light poles, you see the poles, they're rusting, and they got different lenses on top. If you look, I mean, just looking at so many different problems. And we're going to have this place beautified.
The president also zoned in on redoing the roads. City Council and the mayor have said that giving back the $1 billion of residents' tax dollars is what would beautify D.C. by funding the enhancements of their public safety and community.
This place will be beautified within a period of months, so it'll be safe and beautified. And then the big question is, how long do we stay? Because if we stay, we want to make sure it doesn't come back. So we have to take care of these criminals and get them out of here.
The president claims this will get done within a year. However, he didn't specify where Congress would be pulling that $2 billion from. Now, back in the spring, after the $1 billion was taken from the D.C. budget, Senate actually approved a bill and the president supported it, and that bill would have given that money back. However, that never happened. So now D.C. residents here are wondering how $2 billion just going towards cleaning up the area around the White House and Capitol helps out the rest of D.C. Now, I brought that question to the White House, and we are still waiting for a response. For now, reporting from the D.C. Bureau, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
And earlier today, we heard from young people in the district to find out how they're feeling about the changes happening in their city. The teens talked about the ICE patrols we're seeing in D.C. neighborhoods, the newly armed troops, and the extended juvenile curfew zones.
Not every young person is in D.C. running up and down U Street causing issues, and we're being treated like we are, and that's never okay.
How the extended juvenile curfew zone continues along the U Street corridor this weekend. Children 17 and under must leave the area by 8 p.m. There's also a citywide curfew every night starting at 11 p.m. The curfew aiming to reduce juvenile crime started before the additional federal agents were brought into the district.
They really wanted to make the city safe. They actually stop it at the root instead of trying to imprison people. Like, imprisonment is not the actual answer to all the solutions. The solutions at what starts at home. What happens at home, what happens when that child walks out the door is what happens. That's the problem.
About 1,900 troops have been called to D.C. from multiple states. They'll mostly provide a presence around landmarks on the National Mall and at Union Station, along with helping out with crowd control.